All right, y'all, we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business. We're gonna see if it's a local search and it's city search, see if it has BSS for any of them. We're back in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that in the pinned video, home video, somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our FSIC in white here. Highest intent people on the left. It's people using social search, Google search, searching for boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And we focus on them with the videos we make here about BSS, closest to the money, highest conversion rate. And way over on the right is the lowest intent people. They ain't searching for boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And most of them don't even know what the heck boudoir is. But we reach them through interruption ads, through Facebook, Instagram. Talk about these things over on our talk about BLCS over on our sister channel, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. And currently we only work with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS, it's boudoir search sameness. So when boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. And when this occurs, 0 slots, trash, our business will be dying pretty fast. 0 slots page 1 means we're only on page 2 or deeper. And we already know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So from page 2, 80% of approximately 80% of searches are page 1 and done searches. That means if we're on page 2 or deeper, we're invisible to approximately 80% of the market, aka the bulk of the market, bulk of the buyers. Once on Google, no bueno either. It's because we're looking the same as everyone else. There's 10 organic slots page 1 on Google. So if it's us, 10 boudoir photographers total, we're one of them. 9 other peeps got 1 link on Google, and guess what? Guess what a buyer's doing? Well, guess what approximately 80% of boudoir buyers are doing? They're just clicking every link down page 1, open everyone's website, filling out everyone's contact form, getting price quotes, price shop and price compare, and driving margins to 0, negotiating, all that stuff. Never even hitting page 2. So, we're kind of constrained there with the number of competitors we'll actually be compared against. And 0, 1 slots on page 1 of Google is actually not normal. It's a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. So yes, it's common. Yes, it's accepted. But to have such few slots page 1 on Google, not normal. It means something's seriously broken. Those 2 deeper root causes are, number 1, market saturation. Yeah, basically everyone knows this. This is when more and more boudoir photographers enter the marketplace over time. And yeah, it's because peeps get new gear, new iPhone, new camera over time. They throw up their Google My Business profile. And when they do that, they're also throwing up a website saying they offer boudoir, competing to now rank on page 1 Google search. They're posting mom groups saying they now offer boudoir, and on and on. So more sellers for the same number of buyers makes it harder for every single seller, aka every boudoir photographer. And this is having a big way during COVID. A lot of people lost their jobs, but everyone had to still, earn money. So people actually still, thrust in the market to become a boudoir photographer. Now, number 2, the false belief of page 1 equality. This is a big one. This one, boudoir photographers kind of automatically believe that, each and every boudoir photographer gets at least 0, 1 slots page 1 on Google. And as a result, maybe they're slot 9 on page 1. Then some market saturation happened, then there's slot 1 on page 2. Like, some other peeps entered the market, their website's ranked above me. That's fine. But let's, hopefully they delete their websites and Google stops indexing them so then I can come back onto page 1. But no, this, passive, hopefully it happens for me. No, 100% incorrect. I know for a fact that Google will actually give us as many page 1 slots on Google as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And I know that because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search in only 10 days with this new methodology we developed. Finally, a boudoir photographer with BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer. So if we got 0 slots on page 1, we're invisible to approximately 20% of peeps who view page 2 and deeper. Yep, we're definitely disappearing. If we got 1 slot on page 1, we're basically invisible, same as everyone else. Being compared against everyone else, margins collapsing, and going to happen more and more as AI takes more people's jobs. So disappearing boudoir photographer is like the warning light, like the warning symbol of, if we are disappearing boudoir photographer with BSS, that means our boudoir photography business itself is on the path to disappearing. But thankfully, we discovered the solution. We discovered that BSS is actually treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. And it works exactly like it says, social search saturation. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, so we show up there when people search them. And the way this works, this is kind of like, it's basically like down on the Andes Mountains in South America. Think about the backside, the eastern side. When it snows up there, eventually the snow melts and melts into small streams, small rivers. Eventually all that snow melts, runs off the mountains, flows into the Amazon River. The Amazon River is page 1 of Google search. That is the Amazon River. And so what's amazing about this is it all starts with the snow up at the top of the Andes Mountains. And so the snow up at the top of the Andes Mountains is S-cubed methodology. That's how we get the snow there. Everything flows downstream from that. And the one thing I like about S-cubed methodology is the only thing I've seen that allows boudoir photographers to successfully, actually have a chance to fight back against market saturation in a relatively quick time frame, and still have a chance to actually grow the business, even as more boudoir photographers enter the market. The only other thing I've seen that actually enables that is having a large, well-known brand. But those take 5 to 10 years to acquire. We ain't got 5 to 10 years anymore. AI is taking people's jobs. We need to start dominating now. So S-Cube's methodology is the only thing I've seen that allows boudoir photographers to do that. And by my estimates, I believe it actually enables a boudoir photographer to become a large, well-known brand in their area, approximately 8x faster than normal methods, because we're basically showing up on so many different surfaces, so much more frequency, become well-known so much faster. So that's where my approximately 8x estimation comes in. All right, now an example. Let's say, so we're going to say right now, we are in Sacramento, California, and there's 1 million boudoir photographers there total. We're one of them. Everyone's got their websites saying they shoot boudoir, and everyone's trying to rank page 1 on Google. It's like, man, this place is insanely competitive. We don't have time to build a brand. We gotta, basically we got to start getting results ASAP, as fast as possible here, AFAP. And so we're like, all right, S-cube methodology is the only thing that can help out here. We got to crank this thing up to the max. So let's say we're able to rank for the first 300 slots, social search for all the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in our city. And let's say that flows over onto Google, or we take the first 300 organic slots, and it's 10 organic slots per page on Google. So we're taking up basically the first 30 pages. And so people don't have to scroll like slot 301 to find any of our competitors, or basically go to page 31 on Google. And so in this scenario, where we're the first 300 slots, basically anywhere searches online, whose boudoir photography business will be growing in this situation? Most likely ours. Whose boudoir photography business will be shrinking / disappearing? Most likely all of our 999,999 competitors, because buyers can't even find them. We're taking up all these slots. So this is an example kind of this is the ultra most extreme case of what could happen utilizing S-cube methodology, but it's good to understand it. Now, one street with S-cube methodology, we have page 1 visibility. Initial benefit, yeah, we get more slots page 1 on Google. A lot of boudoir photographers actually like this next initial benefit, which is every new slot we get page 1 on Google, we're actually kicking a competing boudoir photographer off page 1, effectively making them invisible. Because now they're on page 2 or deeper, and guess what? We already know approximately 80% of Google searches never ever even hit page 2. So a lot of boudoir photographers actually like that. We can control how many of our competitors are invisible. Now, page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us, BSV. This is where we got the GBC Universe recommended minimum, 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 of Google. That's the number that's recommended because Fabian's got one slot. All right, we're dominating them because we got three. Fabian, maybe they're ultra rare case, somebody else has two slots. Yeah, well, our three slots still dominate them. So GBC recommend minimum 3 out of 10 slots, page one, Google search. And a boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, a VBP. So got our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. It's fine, we now have a solution, S cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility and we become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. All right, now my results utilizing S cubed methodology for myself. I wanted to rank and dominate Google page one for this keyword, BLCS boudoir. So I used S cubed methodology. Let's see my results. So let's see, organic slot one, Instagram, me. Slot two, me. Slot three, me. Slot four, me. Slot five, me. Slot six, me. Slot seven, me. Slot eight, me. And slot 10, me. Now, I went from 0 out of 10 slots, page one Google search, to 9 out of 10 slots, page one Google search in only 10 days, purely utilizing S cubed methodology. And so now the main event here, looking at this boudoir photography business. Going to look for their local search in their city search, and we're going to see do they have BSS for either of them? Are they hitting the GBC recommended minimums for any of them? All right, so we're going Rancho Cordova. All right, let's check this out. Rancho Cordova. All right, let's see. All right. All right, not seeing any yet. Nope. All right, dude, all right, we're at 0 out of 10 for local. So we definitely got BSS for local search. And let's see. 0, 0, 0. 0, 0. No. No. All right, we're at 0 out of 10 on Sacramento as well. All right, so yeah, we got BSS for both the local and the city searches. We're at 0 out of 10 for both. And so we did not hit the GBC recommended minimum of 3. Getting 3 out of 10 slots on page one. So if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, you've done a local search for the highest intent keywords for buyers in your city, in your local area and your city, and you're saying you've got boudoir search sameness, either 0 or 1 slots on page one. You're not hitting the GBC minimum on page two, and you understand, you kind of broken through the brain barrier that, page one equality, that's a false belief, and we can actually take as many page one slots as we want. And you've also seen market saturation. Yeah, more people getting more iPhones, new iPhones, get new cameras who come with boudoir photographers. But you also see AI going to be taking more and more people's jobs, leading into way more boudoir photographers coming into the market. And you're saying, oh man, got to prepare for this big supply side shock that's coming. And we can do that by, and you're saying, oh, S cubed methodology, perfect. That's perfect for that. It allows us to saturate social search, which then allows, as a result, allows us to saturate page one Google search for the highest intent keywords. So basically anywhere any buyer searches, we are dominating kind of the attention space there. And so you've seen S cubed methodology. You want to achieve page one visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer, achieve boudoir search visibility. You want to hit the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 on all of the, local search and city search. And so you're seeing S cubed methodology is what you want to utilize. And you're also seeing kind of the extra bonuses on the back end. Kind of the more thematic keyword columns that we create, that we use S cubed methodology around the highest intent keywords, then the higher the probability that we get ranked here for AI overview for local search and city search, kind of as the only featured prominent one, because this is pulling from, thematic keyword kind of repetition, authority, age. So higher chance of achieving that with SQG methodology kind of as a back-end bonus, and higher chance of showing up in AI search. I actually have an AI search on the back-end ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini, Claude, Perplexity. Because I remember last time I checked for boudoir photographers in the city, dude, it only brought up 3. So if we get our thematic keyword columns created attached to our brand, then higher chance we show up in Google, all these AI searches. And as a result, kind of some back-end bonus. Also, the more we do S-cubed methodology, kind of more momentum we build up against anyone else, any other boudoir photographers competing against us in our current city. So my plan right now is to only work with one boudoir photographer for a city. So we can build up all that distance, all that momentum, all these front-end benefits, obviously, saturating social search and Google page 1 search, kicking other boudoir photographers off. Also the back-end momentum, high recommendations, AI overview, Google search, and AI, all the different AI searches in general. And as a result, you're saying, hey, probably should be a first mover on this, because if someone else is a first mover in our city, then, and since my plan is to work with only one person per city on this at a time, then if you weren't working with me, you have to rederive S-cubed methodology on your own, kind of our proprietary method. And then even when you don't know if you're doing it exactly right, or exactly as we've derived it, then you have to equal our execution to maintain the gap between your competitor and your competitor who I could be working with. And you'd actually have to double or triple our capacity to kind of make up all the momentum we would have already achieved. And so you're like, all right, it's better to simply, be first mover on this, get prepared for AI to force some more boudoir photographers into the market. And so you're like, all right, SQ methodology is what I need. I'm ready to go now. So if that's you, shoot me a DM when my DM's open. I'm currently not open for new patient intake, but I will let you know when I am. The hospital is not currently open for new patient intake, but when I do open the hospital, keep watching these videos. That'll tell you actually when the hospital's open. Shoot us a DM and we'll see if you qualify for S-cubed methodology.